Hey, what's going on? Quis here from Sports Vibes TV. And in this video, I just want to give my thoughts on the Mitchell Robinson injury, as well as look at a post from Ian Begley where he gives Tom Thibodeau's thoughts on what he can do with the roster post Mitchell Robinson injury. And to me, it's frustrating that Mitchell Robinson went down in this game because it felt like Mitchell Robinson was about to have a career night. He had already posted a triple double in the first half, and I'm pretty sure if he would have played in that second half, he would have had the ability to go out there and get a 2020 game, and that would have been good for Mitchell Robinson's, I think, progression, and also great for his confidence and let him know that he is a legitimate force in this league at the center position. Now, of course, he was doing this against Alex Len and Robin Lopez, two players that aren't great interior presences, but hey, these are all NBA players and you got to go out there and produce. And that's what he was doing. So for him to go down with the broken hand injury is rough because, the Knicks are starting to figure it out. They just brought in Derrick Rose and it looks like they're gearing up for a legitimate playoff push. And that would be great for Mitchell Robinson's development, RJ's development, IQ, and even Obi. So to see him go down now kind of sucks. But what I do like is some of the things I'm hearing from Thibs or that's being reported Thibs is saying about the injury and what he sees with the team moving forward. So let me jump right into Ian Begley's tweet so you guys can see it on screen. And I'll read it off to you. The first sentence is pretty obvious. It's the second sentence that I really want to dive a little bit deeper into. So when asked about replacing Mitchell Robinson, Tom Thibodeau mentions Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson as centers who will likely have increased roles. Now that's only obvious. When Nerlens Noel went down, Taj Gibson got a lot more minutes, and then those are the only three players that would be Gibson, Noel, and Mitch that have seen significant time at center. I think Julius Randle saw some time in the preseason at center, but we really haven't seen too much of it, I think, in the regular season. So that's the first sentence. And the second sentence says he likes what Obi Toppin has done lately. That's good. And notes that Julius Randle can spend time at center and Kevin Knox can play minutes at power forward. So let's go piece by piece for this sentence. He says, so he likes what Obi Toppin has done lately. That's great to hear. I would expect an uptick in Obi's minutes. I think the previous game, Obi only played, I think, 10 or 12 minutes. And I think he logged 16 minutes last night against the Wizards. So if Obi is going to start getting more and more minutes, that's going to appease me as a fan that's looking at this season as a year in which we're supposed to develop these players. And that would be great to see Obi get a lot more time at power forward and still not, even though we're not going to be able to develop Mitchell Robinson in that time that he's going to be out, at least Obi getting more minutes kind of, it's, I won't say it's a wash, but at least Obi is going to get some more time on the court. Also, he's saying Julius Randle can spend time at center. That's not something I'm too happy with seeing, but you could see some more creative lineups with the team if Julius Randle is at center. We will be sacrificing a lot in defensive ability and also in rebounding ability if we have Julius Randle at center. But, we can still get some of these young players that I want to see developed, get some minutes and see if they can actually contribute to us winning and contribute to us in the long term. And then this one, Kevin Knox can play minutes at power forward. When I was doing my realistic rebuilds, and a lot of them, I had Kevin Knox slotted at power forward. I think Kevin Knox has a build where he can play the four against other fours that aren't necessarily bruising, which is not something you see a lot in the league. A lot of these fours nowadays are more agile, better at shooting, and don't really try to bully people in the paint. So if we can put Knox in situations and matchups where he's not going to get bullied in the paint and he can still have the edge offensively, I think that would be great, especially seeing now that Kevin Knox is at the end of the bench. If we can actually get something from Kevin Knox in the absence of a Mitchell Robinson, then like I said with Obi, that's going to be something that I can live with. I'll be okay with. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson's going to have to take a seat, but if we're using his minutes to develop a Kevin Knox and Obi Toppin, then as a Knicks fan who's a fan of, or who is a fan of the mindset of developing our youth, then you have to be happy with that, especially with the way Thibs has moved and with the way that these trade rumors are swirling. This would be the best option as opposed to what they could do and go out and bring in another more seasoned center to put in and take minutes away potentially from an Obi and a Kevin Knox. So let me know what you guys think in that situation. Would you be happy with Kevin Knox getting more minutes at the 4? I'm pretty sure everybody's happy with Obi getting more minutes because I think the fan base, we like Obi as a player. We just want to see more from him. And he's only going to be able to do that if Thibs kind of lets him be him and lets him play into his actual play style. So once again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm Quis, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out. Stress.